Right, hi everybody. Welcome to Gen 2 Family Matters. I'm here today with George Crook, owner of F45 Training in Blackwall. We're going to talk a little bit about their F45 Live proposition, the virtual membership, which is something we do a lot with at Gen 2, and it's been lots of fun. So, welcome, George.
Hi, John. You all right, mate?
Yeah, really good, thanks. So, let's start off. Just can you give everybody just a quick introduction to kind of F45 Training? What are you about?
Yeah, absolutely. So F45 is a kind of global franchise business. So there's studios all around the world. It kind of came to life in Australia in around 2013. And since then it's grown fairly rapidly through Australia, through America, and it landed in the UK roughly around 2015, I think it was. The studio that we own, or the studio that I own, is over in East London in Blackwall. But effectively what F45 is functional 45 minutes of workout. So we're known predominantly for our HIIT style workout, which stands for high intensity interval training. And the F is the functional. So it's functional movements. It's effectively a workout that will get you moving around, lose weight, tone muscle, all that type of stuff, but in a nice short 45-minute period of time. So it's predominantly, well, it's what we're known for is group personal training effectively. So it's group workout. So you're working out with kind of friends and other members in a 45-minite period, but with personal trainers effectively guiding you through movement patterns, making sure that you're moving correctly and safely.
Cool. I've been to the studio, I've seen it, it's pretty cool. There's obviously lots of technology around as well, so it's I think it's quite a high-end sort of boutique experience, isn't it, in the main?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it definitely falls into that kind of boutique category of a studio, of a fitness gym. And as you say, we're kind of a technology company. So when you're in the studio, the experience is you're training through TV screens. So there's a TV screen in front of you with effectively what you're working out in, whether or not that's deadlifts, whether or not that's chin-ups, whether or not that's press-ups. And there's a video of the person, a guy called Corey, basically training, so you know what you're doing through the circuit, basically, so you never really get lost. But it's very much around partnership. So you'll often be training with a friend or someone next to you, so you can kind of push yourself through the limits in these kind of HIIT style classes, whether or not that's a cardio class, a hybrid, or a strength type session.
But it's really, I think it's fair to say, it's very much with a sort of social aspect to it, real teamwork, lots of kind of high-fiving and, you know, really feel good kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what kind of brings people, well, people come in for the results. They see that you can get great results, whether or not that's losing fat, whether or not that's gaining muscle, or just generally feeling better. But what normally keeps them as a member is the community that's kind of created. So we're a small team, so a small team of coaches, so we get to know our memberships. And we're not a big studio, we've got a small group of memberships that we really get to know. So it becomes a really kind of friendly place to go with like-minded people basically turning up, thrashing out a workout. And then often there's a kind of social element to it as well. So it kind of gives you that kind of sporting club feel, but within a kind of gym format.
Yeah, cool. So obviously, unfortunately, we can't all come flocking to the studio right now because other things are taking over. But tell us how you're keeping that kind of community spirit alive and what F45 Live's about.
Yeah, so we once the studio got closed kind of middle of March, for obviously all the kind of right reasons with regards to COVID-19, we very quickly transitioned onto a Zoom platform. So what we do is we continue to run our cardio, our hybrid, and our strength sessions, but via a Zoom workout. So we effectively have our coaches, and then our members dial in, and then the coach will run people through the session, and everyone effectively works out together, whether or not they're working in the house with their friends or their flatmates or their partners, or they're just on their own effectively at home, but they're working through the same programs that we would do. So it's worked really well. We've managed to move from the studio into this kind of live format really smoothly, and the sessions they've gone incredibly well, which we're really happy about. So effectively you don't need any equipment. Most of the exercises you can do are all body weight, even on the resistance days. But a lot of our members will often bring rucksacks or dumbbells and things like that, just to kind of add an extra bit of resistance to the strength days. But yeah, we started off thinking this was just a way to keep our community moving through lockdown. But what we found is that we've had some great feedback. One, it really just does take 45 minutes of their day now, as opposed to having to travel to a gym and leave the gym. It's literally, they can turn straight on within 2 minutes, they're working out effectively or warming up anyway. And it also gives us a reach to people that don't necessarily live right next to the studio or work next to the studio. So I think it's going to be something that we will continue as part of our program, even when the studio reopens. So
Brilliant. Well, I know from my perspective as a business owner, obviously with a team working at home and trying to manage remotely, that whole kind of topic around well-being, as much as it was important to us anyway, I think it's kind of jumped into the stratosphere of being one of the most important things for us. So we use for the, for full transparency, we use it. We're a corporate member of F45, and the team of, it's just like a staple in the diary now. We just love our Tuesday morning kind of workouts. The team really enjoy working together, and it's kind of a really just a transformational thing as to how our team have done it. So talk to me about like what other members of the Gen 2 family, if they've got teams of employees, how can they use it from a well-being perspective?
Yeah, so what we've found on that is obviously a lot of people are working from home, obviously a lot more at the moment, which is resulting in they might not have the right desk setup and things that they're used to at the office, whether or not that's because they're used to a standing desk or they're just naturally in a role that normally would move around a lot more. So not only are we kind of jumped on the HIIT style stuff where we're doing cardio, strength and hybrid, but we've also brought in stretching classes. So we've kind of bringing stretching classes and a lot more core. So just kind of fixing how their postures and sat through desk work and things like that. So we've kind of brought all of that through these online sessions, which again, hopefully is just kind of helping people move around a little bit. It gives them a break of the day. It gives them a start time to a workout, which surprisingly is sometimes what people need, is just a bit of structure to how they're training, and effectively how they're moving around. And like you say, it turns into something that plants in their diary and they really kind of look forward to it. And there's something to be said about going through something quite hard with someone else, even if it's virtually. You kind of get to the end of the session, you unmute yourself, and weirdly, from a team point of view, you feel a bit closer to that team because you've all just gone through something a bit difficult. So, and whether or not that is a hard workout, a core session, it's amazing how it kind of brings people together. So we've seen some real kind of, even just within, like you say, with Gen 2, just like from a team building point of view, team building activities are obviously things that people look to do virtually. They're quite difficult, but even from that point of view, it's something that we're really keen to do. So what we would say is, if anyone's interested, just get hold of me, whether or not that's via an email, via a text message, and we would just love to train with you guys, to give you a demonstration, let you know what it's about, and just see if it would fit with you guys. And we can bespoke stuff, whether or not that is rolling out a membership so you guys have got access to everything that we do, or whether or not that's just run a kind of exclusive class for your company. Whatever that looks like, we're obviously really keen to kind of get you moving with us.
Brilliant. Well, we're at Gen 2, we're really keen that our kind of little community kind of, helps each other out. And I know from personal experience how much you and your team have made a difference to our team. So if that can help some of our clients or partners, then I would certainly recommend it. And if I'm sure, like you say, we'll get in touch. We'll put some details on the back of this in terms of how to get in touch with you, email or phone or even socially. So we'll do a little bit of that, and hopefully you can connect with a few people and get a few more people working out. I guess the last point, well, a lot of us, big silver lining with all this time, that a lot of people are moving around a bit more and working out, but obviously there will be people that are a bit less fit or a bit not quite at the level they want to be at. What would you say to those people that are a bit daunted by it?
Yeah, and F45 often gets that kind of branded in that, I'm not fit enough to work with you guys. I'm going to go do some training, and then when I get fitter, I'll come and train. And as the coaches and our coaches, as you've met most of them, John, they're incredible, and that's something that winds them up so much. We really want all levels, whether or not we've got some elite athletes or whether or not you're at the start of your fitness journey and you're just keen to try something new. Our style of training allows us to modify stations, whether or not that's taking it to more an advanced level or kind of bringing it down just to the basics. And we say to our members that if they don't mind sharing their camera, then that's ideal, because it allows our coaches to see you, help with form and equally motivate. But if they prefer just to turn the camera off and just give it a go on their own, then at the end of the session, the coaches always hang around and they can speak to people and almost turn it into a bit of a one-to-one session. So when you're in your own living room, you're also just working at your own pace, at your own time, and what makes you feel kind of comfortable. So what we find is people will give it a little bit of a go, and 3 or 4 sessions in there, before they know it, they're jumping around their living room like they've never known they could. So it's something that we would urge people just to give it a go. It is, honestly, we have all fitness levels in our studio, and there is nothing better from our coach's point of view, from feedback, where we have someone that says that they were a bit nervous, then they realise that we're a friendly bunch. It's a really supportive little community, and equally at the back of it, they'll get some really good results that they'll feel great about.
Brilliant. Well, I couldn't agree with all of that more, and I would encourage anyone in the Gen 2 family to get in touch and give it a go, because it is. I think it's something you need to experience to fully kind of understand it and get it, and see the value, but I'm sure that people will be doing that. So thanks for everything you're doing for us, George. And
Thank you. And on that, John, guys, anyone that's kind of part of the Gen 2 family, whether or not that's clients or kind of relationships through the insurance industry, we'll give you guys kind of 7-day free trial just to kind of give us a go. And like I say, once you're in, give us a go, then we can have a conversation with what a membership may look like for your team, or even if it's just for one person. We're more than happy to welcome anyone in that wants to kind of train with us. So
fantastic. Brilliant. Appreciate that, George. And good luck. Speak soon.
Nice one. Thanks, John. Cheers, mate.